I've got a mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to know what his name is?
What?
Yes, people, what is happening? Welcome back to the FrankieAllen YouTube channel with myself, Will Cranny, and
FrankieAllen, the one and only.
where are we off and what's happening?
We're off to a place called Bedford, which is down south. It's not quite as far as London. I think it's about 50 miles or 60 miles north of London. It still takes us about 3.5 hours, but it's only 1 o'clock now, so we're giving ourselves 4 or 5 hours to get there before we need to do the sound check and get involved in setting everything up. So looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great night. It's going to be brilliant.
We've got this new piece of kit here that we're going to be able to use to talk to you while we're driving, because we always have some funny stories on the way, don't we?
Yeah, and what's been happening, we've had to stop so Will can film me sometimes. You know, we can't film while we're driving, so we've got this now, which means just leave it on. It's like a kind of a dash cam kind of a thing, except it's pointing towards us, so we can have a conversation, have a bit of a laugh on the journey, on the way down there. Going to be fantastic.
So basically, ever since 2018, we've been doing bigger and bigger and bigger venues, and we are aware that we have now broke the glass ceiling. So you were going on at me for ages about why can't we do pub shows, why can't we do smaller venues, and my prerogative all the way along was let's build profile, build profile, build profile. But now the profile is built, so if we want to do a smaller venue, we want to do a one-off intimate gig every now and then, you know, we've got the option to be able to do so. So a guy gets in touch tonight, Fabio. He says, look mate, I've only got a really small pub in Bedford. We've never been to Bedford before. All I can fit is 50 people standing and some more, 50 people seated and some more people standing at the back. So I was like, look, it's not really what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. But the guy was he's a keen vlog watcher. You know, he's a fan of my dad's. He watches the YouTube channel, and he was being so nice and accommodating and trying to make it work. I've allowed standing at the back of the venue. We're doing a pub, which is something that I would never, ever, ever have usually entertained. But my perspective on it was, it's going to be an easy, cushy, intimate gig. You know, it'll just be a laugh, and it'll be nice for people to follow it on the vlog and see something different rather than us doing theatre shows all the time. You tell me what you think.
Well, I feel kind of vindicated is the word here, because for the last 4 or 5 years since our video went viral, I'm not saying I don't like doing big theatres. You know, we got to the stage where we were doing big theatres up in the North East, South Wales and places, and Bolton, selling out 800, 900,000 people in. And at the end of the day, you kind of lose in a theatre the intimacy that you've got in a kind of a pub or a small social club where people are getting up and going to the bar. So I could ribbon them on the way back from the toilet, on the way back from the bar. You don't really get that to the same extent when you're doing a theatre. In a theatre, everyone is in front of you, everyone's seated, everyone's looking at you. They very rarely get up when you're going on. So I'm not saying I don't like doing theatres. Some of them are great venues. I mean, this is going to sound, I'm not trying to sound big-headed or anything like that, but they're kind of too easy, if you know what I mean. If you're in a pub, people are moving around, walking. You might get a fella at the back shouting out, heckling, which I love. You've got people walking past you can pick on left, right and centre. They can be a bit noisy, so you're working hard to try and get them quiet, make them laugh, keep your timing, keep you kind of, keep reading the audience to see whether or not they're kind of drifting away from you because they're losing concentration because it's a bit packed and they get noisy in a small space. So it's kind of like, it's fascinating really, but I'd rather do pubs and small clubs than theatres. Sorry.
I would definitely not. And this is the kind of like the position that we're in terms of today. So obviously, you know, we sell out 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 capacity venues. Yet we're going into this space tonight and the guy's telling me it's half sold when when there's like 100 tickets to sell. Now bear in mind, we're doing like 100 tickets in 3 hours on most shows that we announce. There was no online ticket link for it. They were all physical tickets. So I'm going into this very apprehensively. Look, don't get me wrong, we could walk away from this and it'd be fantastic, but I'm just letting them know that like I don't want to do these type of shows because it's much more difficult than operating a theatre show.
Let's just get down there, see what it's like. I'm sure, I've got a funny feeling it's going to be a great venue.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle of Bedford, which Bedford and Luton are going towards London. Very Italian, a lot of Italians, and the guy who's booked us tonight, Fabio Esposito, obviously, he's Italian descent. The Italians all came to Luton and Bedford. People like Joe Calzaghe, he was born in Luton or Bedford, I think, but Bedford or Luton he was born. And his father came over, the boxer, the world champ Joe Calzaghe. His father came over from Sardinia, would you believe, an island just off the coast of Italy. And a lot of people settled, a lot of Italians settled in the 50s and early 60s in Luton and Bedford to work in different factories. There was a big brick factory that they all worked in, making bricks, a big ice cream factory. So there's a huge Italian population down there. So, sono io, venite tutti. Everybody come along.
The only thing I was thinking about was that the guy's got dogs upstairs, so I've told him.
I don't like dogs.
Told him to keep the dogs out of the way.
Yeah, I fucking hate dogs. And, this is Armani fucking aftershave, or whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck it is, because I don't normally wear this fucking crap. I don't want to be fucking stinking like a pimp. But the reason I bought it, if anyone watched any of the vlogs, Will is always picking on me saying, if you had a shower today, I have a bath every fucking day, sometimes I have two, but he's fixated, he gets these weird things in his head that I stink. I don't fucking stink. So what I'm going to do, every 5 minutes, I'm going to spray this all fucking over me. So there's no smell at all coming off me, and he'll soon be sick of it.
Nice one. Well, there's no banter coming from me on the way here because
he's in a funny mood.
He's
been in a bad mood all week. Very narky, kicking off all the time.
No, I haven't.
Very grumpy because he doesn't want to do the show tonight.
Yeah,
but we're on the way. So let's get. We could have been there now. Can we make a move, please?
Go. Right, Catchy's on the way. What's happening, everyone? Just on the way to Bedford. It's 180 miles to get here, so 3 hours 12 minutes. It's saying on my map right now. You said that's about the same as going to what, Newcastle?
Newcastle, yeah. It's like everything else, these journeys, when you take one of these long journeys on. If you're on your own, it's quite horrendous, really. I did it for years. These, you know, you kind of get used to it. You've got your CDs or your tapes, whatever it was at the time. But with Will likes to stop off at every service station, which isn't a bad thing, really, because staggers the journey, go in, have a coffee. You feel a bit kind of refreshed when you get back in the car.
I want to sound negative about tonight, but I genuinely, I just wanted to be honest with everyone. Sometimes you go into a show and you're fucking buzzing and you're like, oh, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. But I am dreading it. When I get on the phone to him, you know, it might be a totally different ball game. Could be the loveliest fella in the world. You know, be very accommodating and make us feel great about the show.
Yes, mate.
How are you doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just letting you know.
Looking forward to having you both.
Yeah, it's going to be classmates. So we're just on the way now.
Good.
We've got 3 hours on the journey, but we're going to do some stopping and stuff like that. So we'll be with you well in time. Dad, what were you saying? My dad's just been speaking to the vlog, Fabio, about a lot of Italians settling down near Luton and around your area.
Yeah.
Are you Italian descent, Fabio?
I am, mate. Yeah.
Va bene?
Yeah,
stai bene?
Yes, sto bene, grazie.
Bene, grazie, molto bene, grazie. Sto bene, sono Franco. Sono Franco. Sono io. Sono qui, sono qua.
Fair play, mate. That's good.
Molto bene, grazie. Fabio, how many do you reckon will be there anyway?
50-ish, 60-ish maybe, something like that. I feel a bit bad about that, but
look, I appreciate you saying that, Fabio, but look, to be honest with you, you know what we're like, we're just one of the lads just like you are, so we'll come down here, we'll have an absolute cracker, we'll have a smashing night, people will be talking about it for weeks and months, and everyone will just be going, why didn't you fucking come, do you know what I mean?
Andrà tutto bene, andrà tutto bene.
Yeah, it will. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Thanks a lot, lads. Listen, safe trip, yeah, and I'll
see you later on, mate. See you later.
See you later, mate.
Take care. Take care. Bye.
Yes, people. We've just stopped at Knutsford Services. We did a little piss, and you've got a Costa coffee. Don't know how much you've seen of our convos on the way, but I'm feeling much better about the show now, because we got Fabio on the phone and he was being lovely, and he basically just said, look, we haven't got as many in as a sold out audience tonight for you. And you know, we spoke to him about the fact of we're selling out everywhere all over the UK. So he basically just said, look, I feel like I've let you down a little bit, which is honest of him. And you know, at the end of the day, as we said to him, we're just going to go there and we couldn't care if there was fucking 2 people in the audience or 1,000 people in the audience. Let's just go and give everyone a great.
It's just one of those things. Nobody's fault really. Probably all that's happened is it took his eye off the ball. He's probably never put a show on before. Doesn't know how to market, sell the tickets, or chase people for money. It sounds, to be honest with you, as though it's a kind of like 1980s vibe, where he's just been putting a couple of posters in the window because it's a little pub and expecting people to turn up. Probably a lot of people walking past thinking, oh, it might be a tribute.
I had some messages of people saying,
is it FrankieAllen? Yeah. Well, people might walk past and think it could be a tribute to FrankieAllen.
Yeah.
So, no.
Well, right, we're going to crack on with the journey. We've already made some good headway, getting huge clocks. And I think a fella's trying to wind his window down to let on to us there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get back on the road. How are you feeling about it now?
Well, like I've always felt, I've never really been concerned about it. It's just a job. You just roll with it. It's going to be great. I can just tell now, this will be a great night. Don't you worry.
We are still on our way to Bedford, and we've got an hour and 16 minutes to go. How's the journey been so far?
The journey's okay, but I don't like this stationary camera, because we'll keep saying press this and press that, and there's no buttons to press.
You've just seen
hang on a minute, they're all the same. So you go left and press that button. You put your finger out, it just feels smooth, like, you know, you don't, it's fucking mad.
Well, it's on now.
Well, it's on now anyway, so, yeah, we've only got like an hour and 15 minutes left, really. So the journey's been great. We've only stopped off once so far, so we've really made good time. Spoke to a few people, Jack Ryan.
And basically, we're both feeling much better about the gig tonight now. We had the protein bar, stopped for a coffee. Yeah. This journey is what, 3 hours 40 was it, or 3 hours 20?
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Oh, fuck off.
But basically the journey's been quite easy so far, touch wood. Anything over 4 hours is a killer, but anything under 3.5 hours, it's quite achievable, quite doable. It doesn't feel like a big massive stress, does it? And the problem is getting there. Coming back is, we can take our time.
We can take our time coming back. I mean, going to a venue always seems as though you're never going to get there, and that's only because it's so intense. You see, you want to get there, you want to do the job, so it's kind of on your mind. The nearer you get there, the better you feel. But I really got a good vibe about it. I think it's going to be great. I think me and Will are both on form lately. The last show we did was fantastic.
What was the last show we did?
The last show we did was Birmingham.
Oh, was it a killer? Yeah.
That was just an amazing night in Kitts Green in Birmingham. So lovely crowd, and we're going back there in December. So everything's good. You know, motorway driving can be very boring if you're on your own. You know, you're listening to CDs and whatever things, but when you're with someone, you can always have a chat, and we always get people on the phone to speak to. So, and when you speak to a lot of people, a lot of our mates are very good chatterboxes. You know, talk for toffee. Like young Dave, get him on.
So let me ask you now.
The journey goes quick.
How do you feel about the show? How do you feel about the show now, given the fact that we spoke to Fabio when he was being sound on the phone, and he's explained the situation? How do you feel about the show now? Any difference as to when you did when you got in the car?
No, just exactly the same really. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't look forward to it. I love working, I love being on the stage, but I haven't had any apprehension about the show. I haven't been worried about it.
Yeah.
Just because it's a pub. I like doing pubs, I love doing pubs, and I've done that much work in my life, thousands of different clubs and venues, pubs and clubs, and fucking working outside under tents, you know. So working abroad for the army and whatever, working in fields and marquees, yeah, for the army. Will, I've worked for the army thousands of times in Germany when they've been out on manoeuvres, and I've done a show, you know, standing next to a fucking tank with a microphone.
Did they have a stage in that?
A little bit of a stage, yeah. You know, I've done jobs and you don't realise, you go, what do you mean, in a field? I've done jobs in barges, you know, while they've been going along. Used to do a thing called the Wheelsome Barge between Chorley, and it went right up as far as the Lake District, I think, but we used to stop at Preston. About 40 or 50 lads on a stag night, and a couple of strippers on as well in the 80s. You'd be on this fucking barge, and I'd have a mic and take the piss out of all the lads, having a great laugh as the barge is going along. You know, I've been on boats and ships and all kinds of different venues. It's
so
not just clubs and pubs.
About doing this now?
Not excited at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a job, it's a venue. I'm looking forward to being on stage,
yeah,
and taking the piss out of people and telling gags. But the actual venue itself, if you said to me, look, we're in Las Vegas tonight, we're doing this venue, and it's like a 5,000 seater, I'd be a little bit worried then, apprehensive about, well, I'm not going to be worried about fucking 50 people in a fucking pub. I could literally do it standing on my head. If you give me a cushion and said you've got to stand on your head to do this, I could do it. You know, it's like a dentist pulling people's, nobody could do it, but once you're trained and you're ready to do it, it's second nature. Like a lot of people probably watching this got different jobs. You might be a plasterer or a labourer, or a lot of these lads who are boxers or whatever. Anything that you do it that many times, it becomes second nature. So I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to be big-headed. Probably thousands of comedians are in the same boat, got the same approach as what I've got tonight. They're not worried at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a job. It'll be great.
I'm not asking if you're worried, I'm just asking if you were excited.
Not excited, no. If you said, look, you know, this has been filmed for a TV show, or for the, you know, or Joe Rogan wants to film you for tonight, for the end, for a vlog, you know, to go on this podcast or something, yeah, great, but, you know, I'm not being detrimental towards the lads who are coming here tonight, you know, but are paid. I will do my very best. I do my best. I give 100% to every performance that I do, whether I'm working in someone's back garden or if I'm in a fucking Copacabana in Las Vegas. So that's just me, but I don't really get excited about where I'm going to. It's just my job, it's just second nature.
Yeah. It says 7 minutes past 5 arrival, 6 minutes past 5 arrival, so we've got 24 minutes to fuck about basically, if we want to get there bang on 5:30. So we'll stay on the road for probably another half an hour, 20 minutes, stop at a service, and that'll be us. Get a quick scram. You hungry yet?
I'm not, you know, I'm really not really get that kind of hungry. Yeah, motorway driving, I mean, I've driven all the way to Germany, you know, I've been in a car and had to drive, got on a ferry from Dover to Zeebrugge in Holland, and drove right to the middle of the other side of Germany to Berlin. I've done all that.
You drove there yourself?
Drove it, yeah. Fucking horrendous.
Was it?
And then you're driving 700 or 800 miles, well, you get to the stage where you just kind of like pulling up on the autobahn where you can't go any further.
Yeah.
Because you've just got nothing left, you can't drive. And in Germany, you have a lot of these Ratplatzes, you know, rest places. They're just like service stations. They're not as good as ours. They're not as big. only tiny little places, most of them. But and they've only got 2 lanes. The Autobahn in Germany, which is the German motorway, freeway through Germany, they've only got 2 lanes. That's all they've got. And a few years ago, a little bit different now, they've introduced the speed limit. But years ago, there was no speed limit on German motorways, so you'd see people in 2 lanes in the outside lane doing about 130 miles an hour. It was crazy. And what they used to do, they drive going flying past you at 120 miles an hour, and as they're driving by, the only thing they do to let you know that they're going fast, they left the indicator on all the time. Flip, click, flick, flick.
Why?
You know, I don't. Well, like we'd put our hazard lights on if you're coming up to a crash or something like that, you know, just to get your attention and let you know, look, I'm doing 120, keep away from me.
You're allowed to do that, yeah?
I think it's changed now. I think there's a speed limit on German motorways, but there never used to be.
Mad that.
Yeah.
Kind of dangerous. Alright, we'll crack on with the journey. Catch you when we get there close to the time. I'm feeling a lot better about the gig now after we spoke to the guy at the venue. And basically he just kind of said, look, it's on me that it hasn't sold as well as it should have. I'm sure it's still going to be a cracking night. The blessing for me is that the majority of people now are going to be seated rather than standing. You know, last time we did a gig with anyone standing was when we went to Scarborough, have you remembered it? But that was sound.
No, but Will, you've got this thing, you know, about no seating, no standing, no standing. I've done thousands of gigs where, you know, people have been standing.
No, I agree.
You know, so again, I don't feel any better because there's no one standing. You can get in venues. I've done venues where everyone's been standing and you can't hear a pin drop when you're on.
You can't hear the pin drop.
No, you can't. Well, no, you couldn't have heard the pin drop. That's it.
No, you could have heard the pin drop.
Oh, you could have heard. Is that the right saying?
You drop a pin.
Okay.
The sound is so minor that you could have heard the pin drop. It was that quiet.
I see. Yeah.
There you go.
Brilliant.
Right.
So we're on our way. My handsome son is on the steering wheel. Looks like Hollywood
AKA
star.
Jerry Joxley.
He's a great driver, and I always used to say to him when he was a kid, he took his test a couple of times, and one time he
5 times I failed and then passed 6
but he used to get really terribly upset, and I used to say to him, Will, one day you'll be driving one day and you won't even remember when you couldn't drive.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened now. So this is what I always say to people: don't think about the predicament that you're in now. If whatever, you've got a broken heart over someone, or you've got no money, you're financially up the wall, you owe money out, or you're in bad health. In your life, you go through different phases. Things can improve very, very quickly. So always be optimistic.
There you go. On that note, we'll catch you in a little bit, people.
See you later.
Here we are, second service station of the day. We are at Moto Services in, do you know what it is?
No, I don't even know where we are.
I don't know it. Rugby. Welcome to Rugby. Scrum on in.
Now, if you remember, I done a show in Rugby a couple of years ago. Remember we done that? I went on my own on the train, and it was a kind of like stately home.
Oh yeah.
We were all through Wigan and somewhere.
Oh yeah,
And I'd done the job in Rugby, and stayed over, and the next morning got the train down to somewhere in Kent, South London, for that fella where I left me jackets in the club. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
You never got that jacket back, did you?
Never got it back. It was only like, I didn't like it, to be honest with you.
Welcome to Rugby. We've stopped off for a bit of scran. What have you got?
Cheese salad. Chicken salad.
Roast chicken salad sarnies each. And I've got this bang bang chicken as well. What's it like, taste test?
Nice, you know.
What are you giving it out of 10?
6.
Yeah, it's quite a decent service station here, if you look. It's absolutely fucking massive. Goes all the way around there. But yeah, better crack on and eat this. I'm fucking starving. So I'll chuck in and let you know how we get on. Taste test once again. Roast chicken salad sarnie. Let me just fix you on here. So you're saying 6 out of 10, yeah?
Yeah.
Looks decent, to be fair, looks fresh. Five, six out of 10. Anyway, gonna crack on and eat this. We've got an hour to go on the journey. We'll definitely be there by 6 o'clock. It's the latest we want to get there, at least half an hour before doors. So we've got enough time to get everything sorted. The journey's been pretty easy so far, hasn't it?
Journey's been great. I think we've only got like 45 minutes, 50 minutes left. So Will's done brilliant driving. Little things like these sandwiches can make or break your journey. Anything below a 7, you'll kind of like remember, or you might say to yourself next week, didn't really like going down there to Bedford because the service station food was rubbish. This isn't bad, just get away with it, but it's not cheap, is it?
No. Didn't half hit the spot that. You feel better for that?
Yeah, I feel good like eating it, but I wasn't really that hungry.
Yeah, I feel miles better.
The time's just flown over today, it's gone dead quick. So we're only about 45 minutes away from the venue. See you there.
Time to go. Catch us when we get there, people. I'm not going to do any filming of the rest of the journey. So next time you see us, we will be in Bedford. Just arrived. Where are we?
We're in a place called Kempston, which is in Bedford, or just outside of Bedford. So in Bedfordshire, obviously. So here we are, outside.
This is the gaffer working in tonight. See the Italian flag in there?
Italian flag. There's FrankieAllen in there in the window. So ready to go for it. Here, we're up for it. Onwards and upwards.
Yeah, so we're going to go in the venue, get ourselves settled. There it is behind me, the Smith's Arms, and we're going to have a cracking night, I'm sure. So we'll go in, get everything sorted out, and I'll catch you on the other side. What's happening, everyone? We have just arrived. We're in the Smith's Arms. I am with Fabio here, and Fabio's kindly looking after us tonight. He's got us Diet Cokes and waters. What more can we ask for? You know what I mean? Feeling right at home and nice and comfortable here, isn't it, Dad?
Look, straight Fabio's just been telling me, well, he's an ex-army lad, been in Iraq and Afghanistan. We just talked about Germany. I have a few of the stories about when I used to work in Germany for the army during the 90s, 2000s. I was all over Germany, and anyone who's ex-army or listening will know this. There's a place, I was just telling Fabio, there's a place in Germany called Hamelin, which is the legend of the Pied Piper. There's an actual place, Hamelin, the Pied Piper Hamelin, and 2-9, the engineers, and 3-5 engineers are actually there. They're their barracks. And I went out one night with the lads from 3-5 after doing the show, and we went to this restaurant, and we were all fucking pissed and everything, and it was an Argentinian restaurant, so we wouldn't pay, you know, we refused to pay, and there was fucking murder, and we were fighting, and then we got away, and then I was rotten fucking gone out of my mind. And they have these things in Germany called imbusses, and they're like chip shops, but you buy sausages and things at night. You just go there like you'd go for a kebab here. And I walked in, and I was out of my fucking mind. And I demanded, apparently, to see the Pied Piper. I said, I want to see the Pied Piper.
Hold on, what do you mean you want to see the Pied Piper?
No,
Who's the Pied? You were taking the piss.
Yeah, the nursery rhyme, innit?
Yeah.
The story, the Pied Piper of Hamelin.
Yeah.
So I'm in Hamelin, and he didn't know what it meant. And the fella's coming over, and what would you like? And I said, I want the Pied Piper.
Yeah.
Go and get the Pied Piper. Tell him I'm going to fucking fill him in. So anyway, they phoned the police, the Polizei, they call it, the German police, so they came. But I was that far gone, even when he came, I was saying, I want the Pied Piper. He's my cousin and all. I just got fucking locked up for the night, you know. And the next day, someone from the barracks came and got me, you know, and I was working that night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's some funny things happen when you're abroad. I'm sure Fabio's got some great stories too.
Well, we've just been talking, haven't we, about the military. Where were you stationed, Fabio?
I was based in Bicester.
Yeah.
When I was a young man, went over and saw Northern Ireland.
Okay.
Iraq, 2003.
What was that like?
Yeah, horrendous really.
Yeah, was it really?
Yeah, I was a young man, I was like 22, 23.
Yeah.
And then the most recent one that I did was Afghan in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, horrible.
Oh, and
the back of it.
Well, my dad's just been saying you've been doing a lot of stuff for the military over the years, haven't you?
Done an awful lot of stuff for the military in the British Isles, mainly in Germany as well. Done a little bit for the Navy as well in the RAF, but mainly for the British Army. I'm not sure, I haven't been for about 10 years. I think that there's still some bases out there that have entertainment in Germany, but basically a lot of the battalions got amalgamated, didn't they? And they really cut back. I mean, the British Army of the Rhine, as it was just after the war, there were thousands, hundreds of thousands of soldiers out there, you know. It was an army of occupation, if you know your history. But now I don't think there's many barracks there at all.
Cool, right, well I'll let you go and get changed. Lovely to meet you, Fabio. Thank you. And we'll crack on and get our sound check boxed off and everything sorted, so looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Nice to meet Fabio, he's a good lad. And an Italian lad by descent, and we've just had a little bit of a saying hello in Italian. Va bene, tutto bene, venite tutti.
What are you asking Fabio here?
I'm just asking Fabio how far away Cambridge is.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Cambridge when I was 17, 18. And what happened was I left home and I went to work in Butlins in Pathelli. When the season finished...
What were you doing in Butlins?
In the kitchen, just like, you know, kind of like washing dishes and pushing this fucking solly and stuff. In Butlins, I didn't want to go back to Liverpool. Long story, I had a little bit of trouble with these fellas and that. I didn't want to go back. They weren't going to kill me, it wasn't like that, but I didn't want to go back. And I didn't like it at home and I wanted to get away, make a new start. So, somebody said there was a job pea picking in Cambridgeshire. And I came all the way down, hitchhiked all the way down here. I've been here, been to this town here. And I'm sure I've been to this fucking pub, and I'll tell you why now. So, we're going to Cambridge, stayed there, stayed in a Salvation fucking Army for a few nights before I got an apartment, a flat. Stayed there, and I went to the job centre, they said there's a job here. I was like, young lad and all that. For a brewery, and the brewery was called Tullycobbold Brewery, it was called. Right. Newmarket Road, Cambridge. And they delivered Peterborough, Northampton, all over this area, right round down on the other way as well. Some days we go to Ipswich, you know, Lowestoft is it?
East Anglia.
East Anglia. So when we came down here, definitely that. Is it the A421? We come down here. When I was coming down here, although it was like fucking 30, 40 years ago, I'm looking and going, I've been here. You know, you just get on it, you know. And when we came round here, I went, I'm sure I know round here. I've been here, I've delivered here,
How long were you in Cambridge for?
I was there for about 12 months, 18 months, something like that, 18 months.
Where were you, did you have a flat or something? Or?
I had an apartment down here, it was great. Because at the time, used to go out with all the lads and that Newmarket races they used to go to and everything. And like anything else, when you're young and stuff and you're looking for birds, when you're at the Scouts actions, they're a little bit different. So a lot of the girls like you as well, you see. Because you're well, it's like if you're a Cockney or whatever, and you're in Liverpool, you're a bit different in it. So it's just like, what are you doing down here and all that? Yeah, it was great. So I really enjoyed it. And then I left here and went to London, and I got arrested in Croydon, and it was the police that escorted me back to Lime Street Station, back to Liverpool, and I had to go home then.
What'd you get arrested in Croydon for?
Basically, all I got arrested for in Croydon was fucking hitchhiking, because it was like an A road or whatever it was, like a motorway. I'm not sure it was the M25 at the time, whatever it was. I was hitchhiking on this fucking man. They pulled up and said, "Where are you going?" And in those days, a few years ago, it was strange, really. It was like, you know, get out of this town. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. If the police got you and you were like someone from Glasgow, a jock or whatever, and the Scouts said, if they didn't like the look of you, they just say, no, you go back.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. So they paid for you to get out of town. They bought me the ticket and took me to Euston Station and watched me get on the train just to fuck me off, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's what it was like. In those days.
Glad to be back then.
Those days I'm glad to be back. Now I've got a fantastic memory. I can remember things from when I was a kid very clearly. And I remember the year 421, but I've definitely delivered. I'm not sure if it was up here as far as this, but when we went past, there was a pub down there on the right. I'm sure we delivered some stuff to some Tullycobbold Brewery. Look it up, yeah. It's probably gone now. Newmarket Road, Cambridge, yeah.
Brilliant. Frank, what are you asking here?
I'm just asking Fabio, the actual, you know what I like from your history, what's the history of, you know, the pub itself? What's the history behind it?
Any
So it's in the mid 1800s. The pub's been here. It's an old Victorian place. And the Smiths, it's to do with the anvil, you know, like the...
Yeah, it's a smithy.
Smith,
was
yeah,
a blacksmith.
Yeah, that's it, blacksmith. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's it.
So this will be called the Smith's Arms. Is it the Smith's Arms?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the Smith's Arms because before it turned into a public house, you know, in the 1800s or whatever, it was probably like a foundry of blacksmiths, and they made horseshoes here. You know, so that's why they've got the name. You know, the Smiths, named after the blacksmith's forge, which is probably right here where we're sitting here.
Belter, right, done the sound check, looking good. So this is where we're going to be tonight, literally. We got these Union Jacks here, little speaker here. My dad's chilling there, and if you look from this perspective, nice little intimate space, little tables and chairs, and there'll be a few standing at the back as well, so.
Be great, looking forward to a fantastic night. Good people around here, it's going to be great.
Yes gang, so we are backstage and we're just chilling, and I'm all dressed and my dad's sorted as well, but basically it's very, very quiet. I mean, we're upstairs here, aren't we?
It does seem quiet. Could hear people downstairs coming. It's very strange all this, you know, for us, because we've taken this job. We're used to kind of like huge queues of people outside, queuing down the street, hundreds of people, very, very noisy, big clubs.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like theatres and big social clubs where they're all rammed in and noise is horrific, and we're saying we better get on quick.
That's what it is.
Too noisy.
Usually we're like, you say, fucking hell, what are they like at the bar? Is the bar rammed? You know, fucking hell, is there any chance, can everyone get seated? Do we need to get on quicker? The sooner we get on, the better, is your shout, isn't it?
But
literally, we're upstairs here.
Normally, I'm kind of like saying to Will, get that, if there's a support comedian, don't let the support comedian stay on too long. He's going to ruin it for me. And when we consider where we were last week in Birmingham, it was absolutely heaving the club. We couldn't even get from, when I was going from the dressing room to the stage, and the bouncers are like, guide, I couldn't even get there. There was that many people there, you know. And you come somewhere quiet, it's such a contrast.
So we don't know what the room, I mean, we've seen the room, we've done a sound check. It's lovely, a little intimate space. It's perfect for a, you know, a comedy crowd. But like, you're upstairs here, I can't hear any music, I can't hear any chatter really. So it's kind of like...
And I want to know, what kind of crowd is it? Like, we've never really been to Bedford before. I know we always kind of attract the working class audience.
Yeah.
But are they going to be like what we call like scals? We'd call them in Liverpool scallies, like real working class, rough and ready. Or are they going to be kind of like semi-snobs? We just don't know.
We haven't got a clue. So what I'm going to do...
Will's going to go on at what you call a recce in the army. You'd say he's going on a recce to what we also say to clock.
To clock, yeah.
Well, clock, yeah, you're right.
I'm going to clock her first, then I might clock, depending on...
We explain this on other videos. When you clock something, it's a very quick glance. You might say, a bird was clocking me. Thinks, oh, she likes you, she's on your case.
Just a quick clock.
But a clock is a long, sustained glance at something.
Yeah. And so I'm going to clock.
Clock, and this comes at clock. Kind of what my theory is, originates. The derivation of clock from someone like Scrooge, you know, Jacob Marley in Scrooge, sitting at the desk, Bob Cratchit sitting at the desk, looking at things, looking at figures, writing down each individual one, then you're clocking.
Well, you won't believe this. I've got a mate. Yeah. He's a TikToker, right? That's how I know him. Do you want to know what his name is?
What?
Clark King. I'm not even messing. I'll show you a picture of him. His name is Clark King. So, yeah, maybe he's been clarking people.
Well, years ago, nobody will remember. You might remember, you might have seen some very old movies on the telly. There was a big Hollywood film star in the 30s and 40s called Clark Gable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I used to work in BICC.
Oh, I might say that I'm going for a Gable.
Gable, yeah. BICC in Prescott. near Liverpool used to make the like reels and reels of cables for, you know, telephones and things. I was just wondering if there was a clerk that worked there, would he be Clark Cable?
That's quite a decent shout. I quite like that.
What
I'll do is, yeah, you stay there, right?
Right.
And what I'm going to do right now is just take them with us, take them with me, so that they can see firsthand what I see.
Okay.
Now, are you expecting music? Are you expecting people? What are you expecting?
People, but very quiet. Obviously, I can hear here, it's got no music on, so we need to put some music on to try and get a bit of atmosphere going.
Yeah, go on. So I'll take you down with me. So, what we're going to do now is, I'm going to show you what the video that I've just taken.
Okay.
I've gone in, the room is very busy. I've asked Fabio to put some tunes on. He said he's going to do it. He said, do you mind what type of intro music I put on? I said, no, if you want to do something to make a splash, go for it. But yeah.
There's a few in.
I'll show you the vlog will have seen the video.
Yeah, okay.
So, my dad's just seen the video clip, live reaction.
Well, it's not a big room, it's only a small room, so we're going to fill it. So it's not a disaster, we're going to fill the room. So, and that's all you can, I mean, in any venue, you can't moan that you haven't sold 1,000 tickets if the room only holds fucking 50 or 100.
Yeah.
So, if we fill the room, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And I think it looks like it's nearly full.
What do you think based on the people that you can see in the room?
Difficult to say. They look normal, they look kind of like fans. I saw those lads coming in the back. They look like proper lads, you know, like football fans or something. So they'll be working class, they'll be sound, they'll be great.
Belter. Well, I'm going to go take some pictures and I'll show you the pictures now.
Good lad, Will. Go ahead, son.
So we are on a recce. Again, I'm going to go on another recce. My dad's got a theory.
Yeah, we're on a recce. Yeah. What my theory is this, that we were told it may not have sold as many tickets. I don't know why you couldn't sell tickets, whatever. But it seems as though a lot of people are here now. So, not sure whether he's sold tickets at the last minute or yesterday or today or whatever, or whether or not he's papered it.
What does that mean?
Now, what it means by papered in the business is, you've seen a lot of shows. I mean, I've seen a lot of shows, even TV shows, and you find out because you've got people who are in the business and whatever, that even huge stars, and I won't mention their names, haven't sold as many as what they thought they were going to do. I know a couple of artists who were probably the biggest singers in the world at one stage. One was from the UK and one was from the States, and I do know for a fact both of them had to bus people in from, you know, senior citizens' homes in the States, you know, from nursing homes, just pull up at a bus, get people in, go around 4 or 5 in any different city to get a couple of hundred people together, just to top things up, to make it tears a look. And that's very widely known in the business, not very widely known by the public though.
So, very, very interested to see how the night's going to go. You know, they've got music on now, you can feel a bit of atmosphere, but we genuinely don't know what this crowd is going to be like. So, what's your prediction?
It's a bit of a mystery. I've got a feeling they're going to be a good crowd, only because I had a little quick look at the pictures you took of them, and they look half decent, like working class, so I think they'll be sound.
I'm going to go and have a little gander again. Another Clark, Mr. Clark.
Have a little
King.
Clark, and then find out, or try to find out, how many are actually in.
Yeah, so just to fill them in on the room, this is actually Fabio's flat that he's put us in. Some sweets there. We've got Snickers and Mr. Kipling's there. It's you, Mr. Kipling.
Mr. Kipling, Mr. Gary Kipling.
Waters and Diet Cokes. A few Kinder Buenos there, but we're on strict diets at the moment, aren't we? So
yeah, well, we're going to go to McDonald's later. But go and have a look, Will, see if you can count how many are in, because it's nearly 8:10 now. Okay.
Any last words?
Help!
And you may back me up as any trouble. Look at this poor I content. Imagine if your daughter come on with that content. No offence, mate, it's always nice to see the disabled getting out and having that. And you, boy, fucking midwife twatted your mother. That's the crowd. No offence to anyone. Only having a bit of a laugh. I'll see you later on, you've been great.
Bedford, let's hear it for the UK's most big comedian, FrankieAllen! We've tried it 4 fucking times. Alright, mate, nice to meet you.
It's like being in a boxing ring, isn't it?
Live reaction. Talk to
Great, very good. You know, kind of like a little bit different. Little bit different kind of up north. We're laughing in different places, but still laughing, you know. I thought it was very, very good. They like you getting involved with them here, you know, like taking the piss. They like it, you know.
They do, yeah. I think it's gone down fantastic.
Yeah, it's great atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's interesting, there's a fella there, and I saw you patting him with him.
Yeah.
And he's a very, very like alpha male, and he's thinking, am I kicking off here, am I not? And then he come up at the end and he was like, he was unsure all the way through, and then he wanted to be your Bezzy in the break, didn't he?
Well, what it is with those kind of guys, you've seen the big fella here, he was
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Bit of a face on him, and he said to me, you know, he said, I'll smash him. He said, before I smash you, then I'll do you. No, but I'm not sure of it. But he came up at the end and I was ready for him, you know, you can't show fear with these people, you know.
Well, I'm standing there behind me, Dad, you saw where I was on the camera. Even when I was on, he's like laughing but then snarling and he doesn't know it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
He couldn't make his mind up himself if he was going to kick off, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
So when he walked towards me, I just kind of like fronted it, I just said, well, if he's going to throw a belt, just throw one back. But he didn't, and then he started telling a couple of stories and jokes, talking about Dave Courtney. I said, no, Dave. And he was okay then. We're just talking, Fab, we're talking about, you know, the crowd tonight, the reaction. You talk about a north-south divide, is it different comedy-wise? A little different, they may be laughing at different things and different, they like you, they really love you picking on them here.
Yeah.
And you've only got, you kind of like, that fella walked past with a baseball cap on and all that, and I said, look at this smackhead. Everyone fucking pissed themselves. You wouldn't have got the same reaction up north, really.
Yeah.
Not as, you might have got a bit of a laugh. I think what it is, everybody knows each other here. Now that fella with a cap on, everybody knew him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Absolutely
when I
right.
said, look at this smackhead, it makes it twice as funny because everybody knows him, you see.
Yeah.
Got you.
Basically what it is, yeah.
But no, but it's interesting because, like, obviously, in Birmingham, they like short one-liners, and in Wigan they like really like silly stuff, and it's interesting.
So, but I noticed and I thought, I'm very experienced, probably done more shows than anyone in the UK. As I'm doing gags, I thought that gets a good laugh, but I thought, hang on a minute, I'm savaging women here, and that's getting big laughs.
Yeah.
But really, fucking, I'm going. So the worse I went here, more offensive, the more they liked it.
Do you know, there's, you know, the girl giving you loads for...
Yeah, oh, she sounded.
She's proper sound, but she goes, I says, come sit down, but she goes, no, I want to sit here in my royal box, because I call her the Queen of Kempston, because she thinks, you know, she's quite a big personality around here.
Yeah.
Oh, she was a good laugh. You were calling her all kinds, weren't you?
Yeah, she loves it, man.
But yeah, and that fella at the front is a comedian, the one who's travelled from St Albans, a great lad. He said, I need to talk to you at the end properly, but Frankie has inspired me to do a different style of comedy and a different approach.
Really?
Yeah. You know, because there's not many people doing what you're doing, is there? So
there's nobody, to be honest with you, and I'll always say to myself, people won't take that risk.
Yeah.
Because, don't get me wrong, I know as well as anybody else, I'm on a tightrope. People go, fucking hell, you know, it's a wonder no one's kicked off. But I can get a level of laughter a lot higher than most of all. Probably any comedian, I can get the laughter bigger, because I'm scaring the laughter out of them in a way.
Makes sense.
I'm taking them to a situation where they can't believe what I've said, kind of semi-threatening them, and you get a huge laugh. It's like a release.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, nobody knows better than me what I actually do. You know, I've had people say, oh Frankie, you know, how come you haven't been filled in, you haven't... This is my style. But at the end of the day, people go home tonight, how did it go down? They go, how did it go down? the laughter was like bombs going off in a fucking place. So you can't. I can take the audience to another level, and that's what I do very well.
For me, one of the biggest laughs was when you was going about shagging his missus while the kids were drawing on his head. Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, that fellow with the tattoos on his head.
Fucking hell.
What were you saying to him?
There was a fellow absolutely covered with tattoos on his head and his face and everywhere. He looked like the fucking fella off Moby Dick, you know, and he shouted something out and I said, fuck off. I said, you fell asleep on a couch and the kids had been drawing on your head with felt tip pens. And then he shouted something else out. And
afterwards, you said about the kids were drawn on his face and he was tagging his missus.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's what they like here. Somebody else shouted something else out, and I just went back, because that was when I was shagging your bird. He loved that here.
Yeah.
I think they like people being under the cosh because they're local. They like to see how they react and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's great. Man.
Yeah.
You're doing fantastic.
Brilliant. So we'll let Frankie chill out for a little bit, and we'll catch you in a little bit, people. So me and my dad are just discussing for the second half. We're going back on stage in 7 minutes time. What are we discussing?
Just discussing really, without giving too many trade secrets away, what kind of approach we should have for the second half, material wise, or maybe interacting with the crowd. And I think interacting's won the day.
Yeah, so my dad's going to get someone up on stage, have a bit of banter with them.
Just do these they're kind of a crowd, and no disrespect, they're a fantastic crowd, but they're what we'd call a kind of like hillbilly crowd, where you like it simple. So get somebody up, do these silly nursery rhymes with them, and they love it, you know, and there's a punchline at the end of it all, and yeah, and this is one of these places, everybody here tonight knows everybody here, they all know each other. So you pick on someone, it's twice as funny because they know, you know, it's a neighbour of a neighbour or whatever, so it kind of intensifies it. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to kind of like, in the second half, get a few people up to do like a bit of silly stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be a belter, I'm sure. Just had a lovely chat with Fabio, didn't we?
He's a lovely lad, yeah, so...
Yeah. We'll tell you more about that on the way back. It's interesting because, you know, obviously we were speaking on the way down about how I wasn't looking forward to the show. And Fabio has just said to us then backstage, you know, because we haven't done the numbers and I felt a bit disappointed by it, I just wanted this show out the way and I just wanted rid of it. Like I did. But now that we're here now, and it's been an absolutely fantastic night.
I told you.
It feels great, doesn't it? You know, what do you think about that?
Well, I always knew it'd be a good night. Only because when we were doing the theatres and the big venues and stuff, I was never really completely happy. I was at you for years, haven't I? I wanted to go back, but you'd never let me do a pub. And I knew pubs, now you see what's happened tonight, probably gone down twice as good level of laughter than a theatre.
Yeah.
Because you've got so much going on, you've got people walking past, people are shouting out at you, you kind of like, it's busy, people are going to the bar, you've got loads of people to pick on. When you kind of like, in a theatre, you just kind of like, what's the word, like shooting fish in a barrel. There's nowhere for them to go. Because it's a theatre environment, people don't really want to heckle you. But in a pub, you can hide behind people are shouting from the back, people are going to the toilet, they're moving around, mixing around, a little bit of noise, it's great. So I'm kind of like, even though maybe the first couple of minutes I wasn't nervous, but I was looking around thinking, how's this going to play out? But I knew straight away, straight back in my mind, straight back to the pubs like 10-15 years ago, straight back into working the pub in the rough pub mode.
Hi girls, you alright?
Hi. How are you?
Enjoying the show?
Enjoying it. You having a good time?
Are you having a good time?
Absolutely fantastic.
Tell me this, you know the accents, are you understanding it all okay?
Yeah.
Everything,
Yeah.
Not a problem now.
Yeah, we go to Tenerife.
Is that what it is?
Oh, we've done a couple of shows in Tenerife.
Oh, exactly.
We did the Sky Bar, we did 2 sold out nights there. Yeah.
2.
Say it, you fucking disabled cunt.
2 $5 dates. I still like the fucking set up here.
He's a fucking cabbage. Oh, fuck off, we'll get someone else up. How old, Luke is it?
Yes, mate.
How old are you, mate?
23.
Do you masturbate?
No.
Is that a fucking hard on you, cunt? Hang on. Sorry, what was that? You've got further than him? Yeah. That's what your missus said to me. For fuck's sake, fuck off. Shagging your sister, you dirty cunt. He said, for fuck's sake. What old miserable cunt from Luton.
Bedford, let's hear it for FrankieAllen! Bedford, have we all enjoyed ourselves tonight? Super, thank you so much. Before we do leave, I've got one more question to ask you. Should we leave it there or do you want to hear more? Well, listen, if they want more, they're going to be fucking loud and that. Do you want to hear more? One more time for FrankieAllen!
Well, I've never been anywhere as rough as this in my fucking life. Fucking scrummers. Even the fucking dead to bring in fucking chairs. I don't give a fuck. What's up, is he fighting that cunt? What are you doing, mate? You cunt. Fuck off. And you got a few quid, you put that sunroof in the back of your head.
Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet and give it up one more time for the UK's most beat comedian, Mr. FrankieAllen! Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one final time for the UK's most beat comedian, Mr. FrankieAllen! Did you enjoy the show?
Hey, fucking there's the man, FrankieAllen, number one.
Did you enjoy it?
Number one.
You enjoyed the show?
Wicked,
Brilliant.
wicked, mate. Proper wicked.
Big thanks.
You're joking. Fucking rough as fucking you, mate. Tell you what,
It's the right to you come in.
you could go to Liverpool, fucking hell, Bedford people, but for your fucking holidays you could go half foot.
Oh, wicked.
Start burning up, yeah.
We'll just come behind you.
Oh, it's a good lad.
Thank you so much.
Big thanks, Frank. Wrapping up.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah, very good, great, good crowd. Thanks to everyone, it's been a fantastic night. Worked hard, put everything into it, but they were rough and ready, great, lovely crowd.
Boss. Just before we leave, I just want to say a big thank you to Ramiz and Fabio for looking after us tonight. They've been absolutely spot on.
Fantastic.
And the hospitality has been second to none. Frankie got man marked, top security in the game.
Ramiz was brilliant tonight, watched everything, he was like, I felt like Donald Trump, he was that close to me, fantastic. Yeah. And obviously, big thanks to Fab for putting the show on, organising everything. He's been through a lot, to get it all on, but it's been a fantastic night. Love to come back here. Great.
Brilliant. And Fab, just want to say a big thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Show was spot on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
It was excellent. Great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Lovely people here. And top man. Thank you so much, mate.
Soon, man.
Brilliant. Yes. Show is finished, done and dusted.
McDonald's is still open.
We're gonna fill you in a little bit more as we go along. Switch to open. Switch to what the fuck? But we're gonna get a Mackey's now anyway. What is on the agenda for your Mackey's?
I don't know what to get really. I mean, how many calories have I had today, Will?
I'll fill you in now, we're gonna work it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've stopped at this is Silverstone, around Silverstone.
Oh yeah, that's where the racetrack is, yeah.
And we're just in the Mackey's here. And we're starving, so what we'll do is we're going to sit down, grab a scran and we'll talk to you about how the show went. Okay, let's go. Talk to me about the screen.
Like, one of these wraps, chicken and bacon wrap, looks nice. Thing is, I don't like too much of the fucking cardboard, you can't eat it.
Alright.
Any good?
Lovely. What do you got, like? The burger?
Triple cheeseburger. Get my protein up there. Let's see what this is saying. Oh, it looks a bit crazy. That is not the best triple cheeseburger you've ever seen on planet Earth. But let's have a go. Doesn't have it to spot that.
What's you like, son?
Fucking lovely. Unbelievable, like, you know. So nice.
Good. Boss, great, lovely, tastes nice.
Right, so while you're eating that, unless you want to talk about the show afterwards.
On the way home, yeah.
Go on. Leave us in peace, people, to go and enjoy our fat screen. We're about to get back in the car for another, what, 4 hours of jogging.
4 hours, yeah. Fucking hell.
So do you know, I've got one thing to say to you.
What?
Tonight, Matthew, I'll be Jerry Joxley.
Jerry Joxley!
Yes, people, we are on the way home, driving. Just wanted to basically have a quick chat with you while we're on the road, because it's fucking boring driving home, isn't it, Dad? So.
Well, we're just going by. Anybody living in Staffordshire or Stoke will know exactly where we are here. We're coming off at this side. We're not coming off, but we're going past, I should say, a sign for Stafford, the 8449. Now, we're at this part of the motorway, just a little bit further up there toward the right, towards Stafford itself. Archaeologists discovered a Saxon hoard.
What's that mean?
A fella, just an ordinary fella, just like me and you. Not that long ago, a couple of years ago, he had a metal detector, and he asked the farmer could he go in his field. So he goes in the field, and the farmer had said to him, I wouldn't bother if I were you. Loads of people have been on that field with metal detectors, never found anything. But he went on it and discovered this Saxon hoard, you know, gold, silver, from like 1,000 years ago, of swords when England was run by Anglo-Saxons first came in, helmets that have been used in battle and all that. Got 3 million quid for it.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and he split it with the farmer, they got 1.5 million each.
Mad, that.
And it's a strange thing, really, because the documentary has been on the television a few times, and he said he got out of his van, and normally he said he usually says, spirits of the past I pray, take me to where the treasures lay. But on this particular day he never said it. He said, for some reason I said, spirits from the past I pray, take me to where the gold lays. He doesn't even know why he said it, and went to the Saxon hoard. He found it, all gold and trinkets, and worth absolutely millions. Yeah,
Mad, that. Fountain of knowledge. Anyway, hour and 20 left on the journey of 3 hours and 20, so we've done 2 hours of it. Chill journey home. We've been speaking to Jack, we've been speaking to Fordy, having a laugh. As the vlog knows, I was dreading the show. You were quite hopeful about it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just talk about when we arrived, how you felt, and then how the night progressed and how it went and how you feel it went in general.
Yeah, well look, basically all it is, you were kind of dreading it because it was a pub. You didn't know what it was going to be like. But I've done thousands of pubs. It's only the last 3 or 4 years that we haven't been doing pubs.
I felt the vibe from Fabio, and he admitted that when he was there.
Yeah.
That he was like, oh, I just want it out the way now, I want it over and done with. Because he didn't feel excited or good about the show. And that translated. And to be honest with you, he was a lovely fella. He was fucking sound.
No, he's a nice lad.
Yeah.
Although I think he didn't expect to see what he saw. He was very shocked.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people, they see comedians on the TV, or they see the comedians live. They might see comedians on clips, especially my dad's stuff's all just little clips of taking the piss out of people, because we don't want to spoil the material of the show. So people don't expect the show to, one, be as good as it is, and two, to go down as well as it is. And we are very, very professional, and we take care.
Very professional, sure very nice, job. Very thorough.
Yeah.
Will's great at interacting with people when he gets to the venue and finding out what's going on. He's very professional. And I go on, smash it to pieces, and people like Fabio tonight probably got like one of the shocks of his life, really. when he saw the way we operate, and my spot, you know, the comedy spot that I did, it's like the best in the UK. Nobody can touch it. The whole place was rocking, you know, literally raising the roof off the place. So
it was a good night. I mean,
a great night.
To be honest with you, it's a bit of a lesson for me in terms of like not to be so pessimistic about things, but we've got very different outlooks. My whole role here is to mitigate risk and make sure that everything's as good as it can be, so that you can go and do your thing and just perform. But today we both did really well with it. My dad was proper on form. Most people would have died in that environment, to be totally honest with you, because they would have eaten you alive if you showed them any kind of fear. But they really enjoyed themselves. The audience really enjoyed themselves. Fabio, you know, to his credit, was very, very hospitable with his Mrs. Lisa. The Rami, was he the fella called?
Raciz or something.
Yeah, the security fella was spot on as well.
Great lad.
And overall, we're going back, having done the business, had a great night, provided a service to people, as you always say, made people laugh. We were all speaking backstage off camera about how, you know, life's tough for a lot of people these days, especially men who are burdening a lot, and it's light relief for people. Even if it gives them a smile and gives them a chance to talk about it in the pub tomorrow, it's exactly the same as going to watch your favourite football team and them winning.
You know, it really is. It was a fantastic night. And Will was a little bit kind of like pessimistic what it's going to turn out to be. Probably because we were in the pub, and Will's doesn't really know that much about the pub environment, what they're going to be like. He's always kind of been anti-pub.
Yeah.
But I've done thousands all my life.
No, but
you know, I knew what I was doing. It was
less about the pub. It was more about Fabio's, the vibes he was giving off going into it, as though like he was just keeping the show in because he felt obligated to.
Yeah.
Having said that, he even admitted himself tonight that he didn't want to enjoy the process, and he was just like, I just think, fuck it, let's just get this over and done with now. And he said, but actually, now that I'm here and you two have been so nice and it's such a good experience and the show's going down fantastic well, I'm really enjoying myself and I'm having a great night. And we've come away, I've just texted him then saying, thank you so much for your hospitality. He was really hospitable with us, they were really nice with us. And he said, such a fantastic night, can't thank you enough for it. It was brilliant. Which is, you know, it's a huge success all round.
Vindication.
It's turned a terrible negative into a positive.
We found out there was some rough lads in there. There was a fella who was kicking off, like a huge fella, supposed to be a boxer in the boxing club, or what he was kicking off. I mean, it was touch and go. I couldn't make my mind up if he was being serious or if he was messing up.
Is there anything that you learned from tonight's experience?
Well, yeah.
Go on.
In that kind of environment, it's probably better, as what you said, if you can go on just once, make it a bit of a longer spot, do an hour or 55 minutes, 50 minutes. We chose to do 2 sessions tonight. Now the first one was out of this world, fantastic. The second one went down great, but I didn't really enjoy it as much as the first half.
Yeah.
So I think when you're on a roll, you first walk out, your adrenaline's rushing around your body. You've got that repartee, you've got a connection with the audience. If you're going well, you should just stay on, do the hour, and walk off. Do a bit of an encore. There's no need to go on twice. I mean, I've been brought up on the social clubs where you had to go on twice. But in a nice environment, it's a great thing. But sometimes, we went on twice in Birmingham last week and it worked fantastic.
Yeah.
Other times, in a pub when they've been out drinking all day, you can get on for your second session. If you get on after 10, half 10, it must have been, what time was it? When we got on, it wasn't that late.
Yeah. Towards the 10, but the stark difference is, and we've noticed this at different venues, it happened at a golf club in the Whittle, if you remember.
Yeah.
If they're not all bought in mega fans,
yeah,
you win them over by the time you've won them over in the first half, you've got them in the palm of your hand. You've got to kind of do that again in the second half. Whereas if they're all mega fans anyway, like in the beer cellar or somewhere like that, you only have to pick the mic up and they're laughing. So.
No, I mean, I'm saying it didn't, you know, wasn't happy with it. But it went down fantastic the second half when you think about it, really.
Yeah.
You're still getting huge laughs. But there's FrankieAllen, we're doing our thing. We had a fantastic night. Nobody was offended. Everyone thought it was brilliant. I rest my case.
Final pit stop of the night. Where are we?
We're in Sandbatch Services.
And you might...
just north of Crewe. I'm not sure if it's closed. It looks pretty deserted.
Basically, my car kept telling me to take a driver break. And to be fair, we've been on the road for a while, like, so we've only got 57 minutes left on the job. So I'm going to try and grab another coffee, have a piss, to get me through this final victory lap. And then tucked up in bed, chilled fucking evening. Chilled kip. Yeah. So we're here, back again. Over there, that Mackey's is famous from the Stoke vlog.
Yeah, we've been in there.
We're having a little bit of a scran.
There's a grabber.
Oh yeah.
That me and Will used to go on when he was a kid, 30 years ago.
Where were these mostly? Where was I mostly playing these?
We went on holiday in Spain and New York.
Oh really? Did they have one in Edge Lane in Hollywood Bowl?
He did, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, Hollywood Bowl. Anyway, this is what we got. Red Bull, back on the fucking road. Let's go. Yes, people, what's happening? We are home, safe and sound. It is, if you can see on there, 3:06 AM. We stopped off at a couple of service stations. I was going into the show a little bit, you know, how do you say it? Like anxious, because I was just not sure what it was going to be like.
You're a little bit, I think the word is reticent or reluctant. It's kind of like you weren't looking forward to it.
No,
so.
I was apprehensive, yeah. And then, but we've ended up having a lovely night. We've made more memories. We've made people smile. We've given people a chance to laugh and to, you know, come away from their daily struggles and worries by giving them a little bit of light relief for the evening.
And something that I've always maintained as well, we've gone in there like the SAS, given them a show like they've never seen before in their lives, and it will gets around, you know, like when we're in Birmingham, it gets around. I know people put things up on the phone, but word of mouth is still very powerful, I think.
True say. So I'm gonna get a nice kip. I'm up for the sauna in the morning, chill out.
Okay.
What are you up to?
Just gonna go down to my car. It's a bit further down the road. Get in the car, go home and get straight to bed. So a little bit of news tonight about King Charles, that they're gonna make a statement. So keep your fingers crossed he's okay. But I don't know what's going on with King Charles.
Do you think he might be going out as a FrankieAllen tribute act?
No, I think he may be going out as Jack Ryan tribute.
Oh yeah,
tribute to Jack Ryan.
Yeah,
or to Young Dave, or to Vinnie Allen. He used to be when he was a comedian.
Do you reckon he might start calling himself Young Charles?
Oh, well.
Anyway, big thanks for watching the vlog. Big thanks to Fabio and the gang at Bedford. The show was fantastic. My dad absolutely smashed it to bits, and I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. So catch us in a bit. Like, subscribe, do your thing. New vlogs out every Tuesday at 7 PM. In a bit, people.
Take care. Good night, everyone. I'll do well. Fucking.
I'm only messing.
Fucking mental.